In the heart of a dense and mysterious forest stood the Eclipse Hotel, an old and eerie building lost in time. The tales surrounding this place spoke of a dark past where malevolent spirits and demons found refuge in this fortress within the woods. Yet, on a tumultuous and chilly evening, the Jackson family, in search of a brief stop on their journey, stumbled upon the dark secret of the Eclipse Hotel. Mr. and Mrs. Jackson and their two children, Lucy and Daniel, entered the hotel's lobby with a certain lightness of heart, unaware of the shadowy forces that watched over them. The owner, an elderly man with a gaze lost in the blackness of his eyes, welcomed them with an artificial smile, and nocturnal birds left a discreet whisper in their wake. As the family stepped into the lobby, the heavy doors closed on their own, isolating them from the outside world. The reception area was adorned with rusty tapestries, and a pungent scent of mold and saffron filled the air. Lucy and Daniel exchanged glances of silent unease, but their parents dismissed these subtle signs of warning. The owner guided them to their rooms, and along the frozen corridors, the echo of their footsteps seemed to be followed by something unseen. While the family settled their belongings in their rooms, they noticed old images on the corridor walls, portraits of people with lost gazes and faces of children swallowed by darkness. On the first night, the family's dreams morphed into nightmares. Lucy saw dark shadows writhing on the walls, and Daniel heard enticing whispers calling him in the dead of night. The parents, in their sleep, got lost in a labyrinth of seemingly endless corridors. Morning found them with tired features and confused memories of dark experiences. The hotel owner, who now seemed even stranger, awaited them for breakfast in the dimly lit lobby. The food had an odd taste, and the coffee carried a bitterness mixed with a subtle scent of cinnamon. As the days passed, the family began to feel the unseen presence that haunted their every move. On the third night, the windows began to groan under the pressure of a cold wind that brought with it sinister whispers. Lucy, possessed by an inexplicable energy, began to draw strange symbols on the walls, symbols that seemed to attract hidden entities. Guided by an unknown force, Daniel explored the hotel's basement and discovered a hidden room behind a cracked wall. In that room, he found an ancient manuscript that spoke of an ancient pact made between the hotel's founder and demons of the darkness. As the moonlight penetrated the secret room, the family began to see shadows dancing on the walls, taking the form of horrifying creatures. The Eclipse Hotel had become a portal to the world of demons, and the Jackson family was trapped in this dark reality. With each passing day, the ties between the Jackson family and the malevolent hotel strengthened. Attempts to escape were futile, and every effort to find help was thwarted by the demonic powers that watched over them. Ultimately, the Jackson family was absorbed by the long shadows of the Eclipse Hotel, becoming part of the dark legend that would haunt those brave enough to step into this trap of darkness. In the heart of a dark forest, among ancient trees and whispers carried by the wind, stood the Purgatory Hotel. The old building, with walls covered in mold and broken windows, seemed to exude malevolent energy. The tale spoke of strange events witnessed within its walls and demons eager to lure the unsuspecting. On a stormy night, with lightning illuminating the dark sky and thunder echoing like the cries of condemned spirits, the Harris family sought refuge in this cursed abode. John and Emily Harris, along with their two children, Rachel and Michael, dared to stop for a night on their way to an unknown destination. The hotel owner, a frightening man with eyes lost in the darkness and a gaze that seemed to read thoughts, welcomed them with a sinister bow. The atmosphere in the lobby was heavy, and the creaking floor under the family's footsteps seemed to echo the presence of invisible entities. However, fatigue and the storm compelled them to ignore subtle signs. Their rooms, located in the darkest corners of the building, seemed to conceal secrets deeply rooted in the history of the Purgatory Hotel. As lightning flashed, shadows moved on the walls, drawing images of malevolent beings seemingly peering beyond the wall of reality. As the family delved deeper into the dark world of the hotel, strange events began to unfold. The children claimed to see unnatural faces in the dirty bathroom mirror, and strange sounds echoed through the corridors in the dead of night. Emily, John's wife, was haunted by premonitory dreams that seemed to reveal a dark past of the hotel. One night, Rachel, the eldest daughter, discovered a secret door in the basement, a door that seemingly led nowhere. With the courage typical of adolescence, she ventured into the unfathomable darkness behind that door. There, in the dark, she felt a foreign presence, a lure telling her that she stood at the border between worlds. As time passed, the Harris family slowly lost their composure. Every night, the hotel seemed to reveal more of its dark secrets. John began to have violent dreams, and Emily gradually lost touch with reality. A frightening episode occurred in the children's room, where toys left by previous guests came to life under the influence of unknown forces. Rachel and Michael helplessly watched as the dolls came to life, while a demonic voice resonated through the room. As the demons fed on fear and chaos, the hotel extended its tentacles over the minds of innocent families, daring to cross its threshold. The Purgatory Hotel, with each victim added to its sinister list, grew in power. On the final night of the Harris family at the Purgatory Hotel, an apocalyptic storm unleashed around the building, lightning illuminating the sky like an impending inferno. In the midst of the storm, demons emerged from the shadows and manifested in front of the family, guests who were now captured in the malevolent whirlpool of the hotel. In a confrontation between good and evil, the Harris family was asked to pay a toll for their passage through the Purgatory Hotel. Amidst the noise of lightning and thunder, they were absorbed into the walls of the hotel, becoming part of the darkness that pervaded every corner of this malefic place. When the storm subsided, the Purgatory Hotel returned to apparent tranquility, awaiting its next brave victims who would dare to step into its threshold. The frightening tales of the demons from its dark depths remained unwritten, waiting to be discovered by lost souls seeking shelter in the midst of the dark forest. In a town forgotten by time, among hills shrouded in mist, stood the darkened hotel, a massive building with stone walls covered in an impenetrable silence. Though it had once been a gem of hospitality, in modern days, it was but a shadow of its former glory. The tale told not only of its rich past, but also of unwanted guests from the world beyond. The Thompson family, an ordinary family with 2 children, Sarah and James, decided to spend a quiet weekend at the darkened hotel. The 4 travelers were welcomed by an old caretaker with an absent gaze and a dirty smile. Despite the subtle warnings from the locals who avoided the hotel, the Thompson family proceeded with their stay. Once they stepped into the hotel's grand lobby, they felt a strange chill, even in the midst of summer. The stone walls seemed to breathe forgotten stories, and the floor creaked beneath their steps, as if it were a witness to well-guarded secrets. A collection of old paintings, portraits of unknown people with gazes lost in the mists of time, watched them with cold eyes. Although the rooms had a dated appearance, the Thompson family made themselves comfortable for the next few days. However, in the dead of night, they were awakened by strange sounds, murmurs, and whispers coming from nowhere. Sarah, the youngest of the children, saw vague shadows dancing around her bed, and James heard timid knocks at the door of his room. In the following days, strange occurrences intensified. Objects vanished and reappeared in different places. And as the family explored the hotel, they discovered rooms and hallways that were not part of the original plan. The hotel's walls seemed to hide doors to unknown worlds, and the ghosts of the past haunted every corner. Sarah began to communicate with the spirits, having conversations that no one else could hear. James, on the other hand, discovered in a dusty attic an old box with photographs and letters. Those items reminded him of a bygone era, and the ghosts that seemed to accompany them began to take the form of people from those times. The Thompson family became witnesses to scenes from the hotel's past, reliving tragic events and lost joys. With each passing day, the unseen presences became more tangible, and the hotel seemed to become a window to another world. On the final night of their stay, a supernatural event of apocalyptic proportions took place. The ghosts in the hotel came to life, and the walls filled with images of a restless past. A cold wind swept through the hallways, carrying echoes of lost voices and laughter buried in oblivion. The Thompson family, caught in conflicting sensations of fear and fascination, witnessed a transformative process of the hotel. In the light of a blinding moon, the spirits rose, and the hotel became an open portal to the world beyond. When dawn came, the Thompson family found no traces of the hotel. Instead of the age building, there was only an empty field. The tale of the darkened hotel had become a legend, and the spirits had been offered the release they had awaited for centuries. Despite the terrifying events, the Thompson family left with a memory that no one else could share. The darkened hotel had vanished from their world, but the memory of their encounter with the ghosts of the past would remain etched in their souls forever.